0.3 meters high, and those that have a DAP measurement less than 10 centimeters, less than 5 centimeters for the Andean high mountain forest. The center of the circle is located 5 meters to the north and 5 meters to the west of the starting point, the central lane of Strip 1. The third incorporated subparcel consists of two 50 by 50 centimeter squares located at the southeast and northeast ends of the main parcel. This is where the weight of the fallen leaves and debris is registered. These dead branches or trunks measure less than 10 centimeters in diameter. Fallen wood in different states of decomposition is also observed by applying a linear intersection sampling system. This means that all the fallen trees and those that are intercepted or crossed by this imaginary line are observed in the first 30 meters of the central lane in Strip 1. And the length and diameter of fallen wood within these limits that has a diameter of 10 centimeters or more is also described. For the observations and sampling of soil characteristics, 5 observation points located at the 4 ends and in the center of the 20 by 20 meter subparcel are evaluated. A description of the physical characteristics of the soil includes its depth, color, texture, structure, and rockiness. Samples are taken by drilling or with a cylinder to extract samples for different types of laboratory analysis. 500 cubic centimeters is taken for organic carbon, rootlet carbon, field capacity, and wilting point, and 300 cubic centimeters is taken for apparent density. These indicators are used for scientific studies carried out by the National Autonomous Institute for Agricultural Research, INIAP. In order to know how the carbon content in the different forest levels has changed, samples will be extracted at a depth of 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters, and the first 30 centimeters in the 5 sampling points. However, because of the especially large carbon content in the mangrove and Andean high mountain soil, and to achieve better representation, samples will be collected up to 60 centimeters in depth ranges of 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and 50 to 60 centimeters. For measuring shrubland and bush biomass, the destructive method is used. This is necessary in order to discover the biomass existing under the tree canopy. For this, a 2 by 2 meter parcel is prepared except in cases of dry pluvio-seasonal forests and Andean dry forests where 5 by 5 meter parcels are used. In both cases, all the live plant matter having a DAP less than 10 centimeters in subparcels and less than 5 centimeters in Andean high mountain forests is cut and weighed. Then a 1 kilogram sample consisting of stems, branches, and leaves is taken and sent to the laboratories to calculate the dry weight with their respective codes. This procedure is also used for herbs and crops when conglomerates or parcels are not located inside the forest, or for sural measurements in 2 by 2 meters and increments in 5 by 5 meters when they coincide. Once the measurement of these different variables has been finished, the real forest inventory begins. It is made in the entire 60 by 60 meter parcel, starting with the first 20 by 20 meters in Strip 1 and measuring all the trees having a 10 centimeter or more DAP, 5 centimeters or more for the Andean high mountain forest. Next is the 20 meters with trees that have a DAP of 20 centimeters or more in the entire parcel. This procedure locates, botanically identifies, measures, and describes every tree found inside the parcels. This process is carried out simultaneously, going from tree to tree in the parcels, registering all the inventory variables in the form used for the forest inventory. This activity helps understand how the trees are distributed within the parcels and helps find them on the ground, especially when it is necessary to return to the conglomerate for the supervision process or the follow-up and monitoring of the forest inventory. For this, the X and Y coordinates of the Cartesian system are used as a reference, beginning with the central lane of Strip 1. 2 forestry technicians work together, one taking notes and guiding the location, and the other measuring and observing as they begin the inventory. locating the first tree and all the others they find within the 0 to 60 meter y-axis and the 0 to 10 meter x-axis, positive or negative depending on which side of the y-axis they are found. For example, a tree might be at 13 meters in y and 4 meters in x, or at -3 meters in x and 35 meters in y. Once the inventory is finished in Strip 1, they continue with Strip 2 and then with Strip 3, always beginning with the central lane in a north-south direction. A forest inventory is based on the measurement of three basic variables in the architecture of a tree: the DAP, or diameter at breast height, the whole tree height, and the commercial tree height. This is how it is done. The diameter of a tree is measured 1.3 meters from its base at the breast height of an average person who lives in the region. A diametric measuring tape is stretched around the tree, making sure it is completely tight, is perpendicular with the tree, and does not cross over any vines, reeds, or branches. Every tree, whether standing live or dead, must be measured, codified, and registered in the forms used for the forest inventory. For trees with aerial roots, tabular or spider, over 1.3 meters in length, the measurement is made 30 centimeters above the end of the last root, or where the stalk becomes normal. In accord with the DAP measurement system, every tree in the parcels is measured for its total height as well as for its commercial height. The total height is the vertical distance between the level of the ground and the highest part of the tree. The commercial height is the length of the trunk or shaft from its lowest part to its highest part where the branches of the tree crown begin. The hypsometer is the instrument specifically designed to measure the heights of trees by using trigonometric principles. Consequently, in the 20 by 20 meter parcel, every fifth tree is measured with this instrument, and in the rest of the parcel, every 15th tree is measured. The estimated height of the other trees is based on these measured heights. Another variable obtained from the inventory is the coverage of crowns, which is defined as the proportion of soil covered by tree crowns in their vertical projection. Their usefulness is defined as an ecological indicator to establish the quality of habitats, the microclimate of the soil, and light conditions. A densitometer is used to measure the coverage of tree crowns. Its measuring points are 10, 30, and 50 meters from the central lane of the three strips, thereby allotting 6 measuring points to each parcel. The tree species observed are not only measured and located on the ground, but with the help of guides or local herbalists, they are also identified with their common and scientific names. An expert dendrologist identifies the species scientifically in the field, or sometimes herbalists in the country are consulted. The usages of the species at the local level are described, as well as the conditions of the tree, whether it is dead or alive, the quality of the shaft, its degree and phytosanitary condition, and its dominance in the parcel.